What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Busta here at Busta Plays, and we got a good one for you today, folks. We're rebuilding the Pittsburgh Steelers as requested by, I can't even say the name, but it's up on the screen. And before we get too far into this one, be sure to leave a like down below. Comment if there's a team you want to see rebuilt. I know I have to do the Raiders and I believe the Dolphins and another college team. Be patient with the college teams. They take a long time to do, and it's really hard to balance. But let me know down below if there's a team that I have not done yet that you want to see. Let me know. I'll throw them on the list and we will get to them. And also hit that subscribe button. We just passed 125 subscribers. A really big milestone for me here starting my YouTube journey. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like on the video, and let's get into it. Now, this offense has kind of been the surprise of the season, if you ask me. Pittsburgh sitting at 7-3, recently beating Baltimore. They were winning with Justin Fields, and then next thing you know, Russell Wilson comes in, and it's like the offense is so much better. They're putting up huge amounts of points. Najee looks better now that Russell Wilson's in. George Pickens, of course, looks better. The offensive line has looked good, even though it still does need some improvement. The defense has been spectacular. Of course, Joey Porter Jr., Deontay Jackson. The defensive line has been good. The linebackers have been fantastic, but it's going to be that way when you have TJ Watt and Patrick Queen. Peyton Wilson has shown some flashes, especially in this past week's game against Baltimore. Highsmith is really good. Fitzpatrick is good. It's a really good defense. I would say the letdown is the offense. But in real life, the offense has been playing great, and so is the defense. So let's see if we can continue this year out and maybe try to make a playoff run with this Pittsburgh team. Well, we have some re-signings to do, and before we get any further, I don't think we're going to try to re-sign Mike Williams. He's 29, and in Madden, it's just not a good idea. Najee is definitely somebody I think we're going to try to re-sign, but he can't fully commit right now. I take Najee over him. James Daniels is an offensive lineman we want to keep. He's young enough and good enough overall. Dante Jackson can probably go. I don't know about Justin Fields yet. He doesn't want to be here, and maybe we just look to draft somebody. And then a lot of these other people, really, man, they can go. They're really good players when it comes to the team in real life, and they're very valuable. But in a Madden sense, they're not. I'm kind of curious to what. Maybe we just try to re-sign Justin Fields in the offseason. I am going to go ahead and force this win against Baltimore because Pittsburgh won in real life, so I feel that to be fair. Well, we have us a wild card round game as we do end up going 12-5. So good enough. We had some tough games at the end of the schedule. We did end up losing a game to Cleveland that was 3-9 for whatever reason. But we go 12-5. We got to take on the Los Angeles Chargers, who have actually been a really good team this year. And we do beat the Chargers. Now we have Jacksonville. I don't know how they made it into the playoffs. They had to have won their division. They did win their division. Houston fell off. All right, we're going to go ahead and hop in at this point. I mean, we took down the Chargers. We took down Jacksonville. Now we got a game against Buffalo, who went 15-2. Normally, I don't like to hop in year one, but if we have a shot to win the Super Bowl this year, we're going to take advantage of it. All right, we are going to go to the end of the game. We'll hop in if we have to. Buffalo is on the board first, but we don't fully answer back. Can we get an answer back? It's only a 1-point game. We are up by 2. They score. This is where we're hopping in. We need to put points on the board, but we also need to take our time. So we're going to run the ball with Harris. Take some valuable time off the clock. And go from there. We're going to let this go down to the 2-minute warning. You know, I'm almost tempted to run it again. We are in 4-down territory. So a couple more yards on the, which we don't get. We get caught up. We're down at the line of scrimmage. That may have been the death of us. That may have been a mistake, but we got Russell Wilson, so we're able to hit Pat Freiermuth, get a nice gain. Let's see what the penalty is. Offsides on the defense. We're going to accept just because that gives us more time to kind of score. Hopefully we don't regret it. As Najee is not going to get forward at all. I really want to try to run this a little bit. I don't want to give their offense much time at all. As we are going to go down at the 3. We don't want to give ourselves no time. We're going to take a timeout here. If they score with this little time left on the clock, we can deal with it. So we're going to hand it to Cordero Patterson and see if he can find his way into the end zone, and he does. For hopefully the game-winning touchdown, and that does end it. We are able to take down the Buffalo Bills. Russell Wilson with not a great game, 174 yards and an interception. Najee Harris with also not a great game, 2.7 a carry. Calvin Austin, 59 receiving yards. Not a very offensive game. Now, defensively, it seems, well, there was only one sack that TJ Watt and Keanu Benton split. No interceptions. Very low scoring game, but we take home or we win. All right, well, since we beat the Bills in the AFC Championship game, we made it all the way to the Super Bowl, and now we have to take on the Philadelphia Eagles, who we did already beat once this year. So I'd like to see if we can do it a second time, especially here in the Super Bowl. Now, before we hop into the Super Bowl, we are going to take a look at some of the award winners, see if we have any, and it's not looking good. Mike Tomlin is at 6 on Coach of the Year. Nobody on the Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt is at 4. Offensive Rookie, we don't have anybody. Defensive Rookie, Beanie Bishop Jr. at 4. And Peyton Wilson at 8. Best quarterback, not on the list. Best running back, we are not on the list. Best receiver, George Pickens at 4. Best offensive lineman, not on the list. Best defensive lineman, not on the list. Best linebacker, TJ Watt is at 2. Dante Jackson at 4 for best DB. And Chris Boswell wins best kicker. Now the moment all the Steelers fans have been waiting for a while is another shot at a Super Bowl ring. Let's see if we can take down Philadelphia. This is what you signed Russell Wilson for. To come in, put together a contending team, and fix the offense. It has happened, and he has led Pittsburgh to the possibility of a Super Bowl, winning a Super Bowl. Now, it's all reliant on our defense being able to stop this Philadelphia offense as they can be tricky. But we're going to go to the end of the game, see what happens, and it's not looking great for us as our offense has really struggled to move the ball. And we throw an interception. But we're moving the ball backwards. We can really turn this around now. This is where we have to score. You know what we're going to do? We're going to hop in right here. We're going to see if we can help this offense kind of get going a little bit. We get the 4th and 1. We want to keep it going. Oh, Najee drops it. I didn't know that was Najee out there. They should decline it. Yeah, that's what I thought. This is not looking good for our team at all. As they score again, and we just have not been able to move the ball on offense. I just kind of want to see if we can get anything going here. As we do get the first down with George Pickens, Russell Wilson has been terrible today. We have a quarter left. If we plan on doing anything, we got to start scoring now. And what better way to do that than hit our number 1 receiver in George Pickens. Just try to keep the ball moving down the field. Oh, that was a disaster. Jalen Carter came through the line quick. All right, well, we're trying to score here. We're down at the 10-yard line now. Oh, Pickens almost hangs on to that. I mean, it's a 4-score game. Freiermuth, fight. Najee's terrible. I shouldn't have re-signed him. I shouldn't have re-signed Najee. All right, we get in finally with Cordero Patterson. Our defense needs to make a stop, and they do. And we did get the extra point. We still have all of our timeouts, so we got to try to score quick here and get out of bounds every opportunity we can. Let's see if this is a cover 3. We should be able to take advantage of the big man being on. Oh, just throw it away. 2-minute warning, so it didn't really matter. They came at us quick. Calvin Austin hangs on, but he's not able to come down with it. Or get out of bounds, anyway. They are getting through that offensive line very fast. All right, come on, Pittsburgh. A minute 28 left. We got to score now if we plan on staying in this game. And Najee catches it and does get down to the 2. We need to hurry up, though. as Russell Wilson's going to hit Calvin Austin for the touchdown, but we are not able to make the stop on defense, and Philadelphia wins. Well, Russell Wilson did not have a good game before we started jumping in. I mean, 59.1 rating, 18 of 32, 198, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Could not move the ball on the ground. Well, didn't even try to, really. Only 2 rushing attempts with Najee in the whole game. Calvin Austin with 53 receiving yards. George Pickens had a good amount. Najee had 2 big drops that hurt us a lot. But, I mean, this team really, so did Mike Williams, and George Pickens had a drop too. Let's see what blocking was. Only gave up 1 sack. Defensively, we had 2 sacks, 1 from Cam Hayward, a half from TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, and 1 interception from Landon Roberts. So it really looks like the weakness of the team that game was Russell Wilson. And it was a little bit of a letdown as we did lose the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is your Super Bowl MVP, and again, we didn't have any award winners. Hopefully that can change next year as we plan on making another run. Let's get to the offseason. I'm going to check the re-signings one more time, see who we need to re-sign. But if not, we do have a little bit of money going in the free agency. All right, this is who we're going after in the free agency. I'm going to have to adjust this, actually. I would really like DeMarcus Lawrence on a 1-year. Paulson Adebo and a punter, Ryan Wright. Let's see who we get. Well, we get Paulson Adebo and Ryan Wright. It looks like we did lose out on DeMarcus Lawrence, who went to Washington. And right now, we have no quarterback, and I really don't know who to bring in. So, I'm kind of thinking Zach Wilson return arc, and if anything, he's just a backup quarterback. And we add Zach Wilson to the list. Well, our offensive line looks like it's in fairly good shape with, as long as Faatanu returns, we really could maybe go after a receiver. We know we need a quarterback. Defensively, we kind of need, we don't really need a corner. When you get Paulson Adebo in, we should be good there. We have some good linebackers. The safeties are in a good spot. And we need a left end, really, is all it comes down to. Well, we're here at the NFL draft. We have pick 31. And as much as I want to go after a quarterback this year, I don't think it's the year to do it. So we are going to go to pick 31. I got a couple players I got my eyes on. And we're going to start with the left end. We know it's our biggest weakness on defense. So Landon Jackson, he's a run stopper, not a power rusher, but we have enough pass rush on that defense. So welcome to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And a hidden dev at 6'7", 282. All right, in the second round, you know what? I changed my mind. We're going to go ahead and draft Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss. Normal dev, but with the right supporting cast, if he can win Rookie of the Year, we'll be in a good spot. All right, we're going after Xavier Restrepo. We need a receiver. Hopefully, well, he's not hidden dev, but hopefully he develops. All right, we're going after Katron Allen out of Penn State. A good power back, somebody to pair with Najee. All right, it is draft recap time. Now, I will say one thing about those user drafts. It is harder to get steals later, and generally the overalls end up being lower. But Landon Jackson's a 73 overall, and that's all we need him to be. Jackson Dart is a 70, so he should get to start over Zach Wilson. Restrepo a 73. Katrin Allen, a 69. A 69 from a strong safety. We end up getting Jack Beck, also a 68. Cam Scatterbo, another normal dev. There's just a lot of, from what I've found, there's a lot of normal devs in these draft classes. It is what it is. We're going to get these guys plugged in, though, and get into year 2 and see if maybe our rookie quarterback can start off hot. All right, this is the team heading into year 2. Of course, Jackson Dart, the quarterback, going to try to develop him a lot and see if he can't maybe get a rookie of the year in a dev trade. Then we don't have to worry about quarterback. Of course, George Pickens, Calvin Austin. We added Restrepo and Beck. And we have Quez Watkins. The offensive line looks really good, and Pat Freiermuth is really good as well. And, the defense still looks good. It's been good this whole time. Probably going to stay fairly good as long as we stay on top of replacing older veteran players. But a really good team right now. This is kind of our defensive window to try to win. So hopefully our offense can step up and we'll be pushed in the right direction. Well, we're at the midseason, and Jackson Dart, a lot of interceptions. Touchdown to interception ratio is not great, 10-8. Not fantastic. His completion percentage is down as well at only 59%, but hopefully he can continue to develop, and we won't have to worry about that. Najee on pace for 1,000 yards. 5.1 a carry is really good, and only 4 touchdowns, though. George Pickens with 390 and 4 touchdowns. Freiermuth 289 and 3 touchdowns. Restrepo 280 and 2 touchdowns. Probably giving up a lot of sacks. Not going to look at it too much. Patrick Queen, though, leading the team in tackles. Cam Hayward in TFLs. And it looks like Alex Highsmith in sacks with 9. TJ Watt only at 4. And a fairly good amount of interceptions here at the midseason. I just hope we can keep these numbers up. Now, we do need to see who needs re-signed. And, of course, it's TJ Watt. He's 30. We're going to offer him this 3-year. He's going to stay. George Pickens, of course, you offer this guy. You pay him 4 years. I'm not sold on the rest of these guys yet. Maybe Suamalo and maybe him. But Holcomb, Calvin Austin, depending on the year he has, he could probably go, depending on how much he wants. We also have a DB breakout, and it is Beanie Bishop Jr., the second-year player. And he now has star development. So he just got star development. Really good for our defense. And we're going to touch up this national focus. I put it on wide receiver. There's a good chance I go after a quarterback, but I want to know the wide receivers in those later rounds. I want somebody that's going to be a big time get. And again, that's 100% dependent on the development of Jackson Dart. He's gone up 2 points. 3 and 4. Let's see if we can turn this season around. It looks like we're still in the race. We can really do something if we're able to start squeaking out some wins. Well, I should start with the fact that we've had an incredible year, because from going from 3 and 4 at the midseason to 11 and 6 and winning the division against the Cincinnati Bengals, who at the time of the midseason were undefeated. I would actually, I'm going to take a look at the schedule the incredible run we went on. So, of course, we were here at the midseason. Well, here at the midseason, we were 3 and 4, where we went on to beat the Browns. Then we lost to the Ravens. We were 4 and 4. Well, we went on to beat, at this point in time, I think they were 8 and 1. I think they were 8 and 1. 8 and 1 Bengals. So Then we beat the Packers that were 6-5. Then we beat the Jets that were like a 6-win team. The Dolphins were 8-4 at this point. The Lions were 12-1 here. We beat them. We did lose to Seattle. Then we beat Cincinnati again and then beat Chicago. And I would have thought that with this young quarterback not playing well, we wouldn't have these high-scoring games. Not great interception-wise. 3,300 yards, 26 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. It looks like Najee had an incredible year, though. 1,300 yards and 14 touchdowns. George Pickens with 1,005. Calvin Austin with 1,005. Pickens with 899 and 7. Freiermuth with 656 and 7. Restrepo even having 6 receiving touchdowns. Suamala giving up a lot of sacks. So is Dan Moore. Patrick Queen led the team in tackles. Cam Hayward in TFLs. And this is the first time in a while in a rebuild that I've had 2 double-digit sack players. TJ Watt with 12. Alex Highsmith with 14. Keanu Benton with 4. I don't know if the rookie had 1. And he's not a power rusher. And a pile of interceptions. Really, really, really good year. I wonder do we have any defensive touchdowns? Yeah, 2 defensive touchdowns. 1 from Patrick Queen, 1 from Minkah Fitzpatrick. Take a look at our development throughout the year. And Jackson Dart playing up to a 76. So he's playing well. Same with Restrepo, who we can now put at the wide receiver 3 spot over Quez Watkins. George Pickens up to an 88. Najee up to a 91. We're really looking for a development boost from him after this year with the year he had. Calvin Austin up to a 78. We may be looking at keeping him as well. The defense looks really good. Jackson, the rookie, up to a 78. Our Beanie Bishop Jr. up to a 78. Like a lot of really, really good players on this team. Our quarterback, again, may this year be the only thing that holds us back. Now let's see if we can take down Baltimore in the wild card round. We're not going to hop in. It's only year 2. Jackson Dart was the death of us. Again, our quarterback really hurt us. And our running game wasn't working. Calvin Austin, though, looks fantastic. I mean, yeah, we really got to get this quarterback situation under control. The bad part is I don't think we're going to be in a position to draft one. And the award winners for the year, of course, we don't have anybody in the MVP year. Coach of the year, Mike Tomlin, is at 9. Offensive player of the year, nobody. Oh, Najee Harris at 10. Defensive player of the year, Alex Highsmith at 7. Offensive rookie of the year, going to McMillan on the Bengals. Browns, Isaiah Bond. We had Restrepo and Dart at 9 and 10. Defensive rookie of the year, we're not on the list. Best quarterback, Jackson Dart at 8. That's not terrible. Best running back, Najee comes in at 2, and I don't know how because he was the leading rusher in yards and touchdowns. Best receiver, not on the list. Bengals have 3 people on the list. Why did they draft McMillan? That makes no sense. Best offensive lineman, Zach Frazier at 9. Best defensive lineman, not on the list. Best linebacker goes to Alex Highsmith with TJ Watt at 3. Best defensive back, not on the list. Best kicker, Boswell's at 8. Now let's see if we got any dev traits. Najee did go up. Calvin Austin did not. He had a pretty good year. And defensively, did anybody go up? It looks like Minkah Fitzpatrick went up. And that's about it. And the Baltimore Ravens do end up winning the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson getting the Super Bowl MVP. You don't like to see a division rival get it. All right, well, I really don't want to pay this much for Cole Holcomb or Calvin Austin or, well, we signed his option, or Isaac Seumalo, when we should be able to get a guard in the draft fairly good. So we're not going to re-sign anybody. We're just going to get to the free agency. Oh, and in breaking news, Cam Hayward retired, so now we need a right end. All right, this is who we're targeting in the free agency. Joe Tooney, because we need a left guard, so why not bring in one of the best in the league? Jermaine Johnson, again, Cam Hayward retired. We need a right end. So I think he'd be a good fit in this Steelers offense. Christian Watson, just to add another receiver. And Micah McFadden to try and replace Cole Holcomb without the big price tag. All right, well, we signed Tooney, Jermaine Johnson, and Micah McFadden. The only one left is Christian Watson, and he's playing hard to get. But he signs anyway. Welcome to Pittsburgh. All right, so I swapped the positions of Jackson and Jermaine Johnson just to make the scheme fit work a little bit better. We need to try to find a strong safety in the draft. And on offense, I mean, really, we kind of need a quarterback. But we just, unless we give away everything to trade up, I don't see us being able to get one. All right, well, here we are in the draft ahead of year 3. And, I mean, we have a really tough decision to make here. But I really think we're going to go with the guard out of Clemson. I think he can be moved to tackle at 6'5". If we can move him to left tackle, he's a top 5 talent in the class. We're getting him at 22. Ranked at 5, got him at 22. Hidden dev. He's going to be great. All right, now we need a strong safety. It's our biggest need on the team. Darren Ferguson's just, he looks like the best available. And he is hidden dev, so that's a win for us. All right, we got a trade. We're trading Broderick Jones, a right tackle we do not need, a 4th and a 7th this year for a 2nd from Philadelphia. The pick directly after ours. Well, Steve Bryant looks like the better quarterback, so it's who we're going to go with. Hopefully we get a hidden dev. I don't know that we necessarily need one. No. He's another... Yeah, he's not good. Maybe we'll regret that. And now we have a round 1 to 2 talent, slot receiver, just to throw another guy in the mix here. Normal dev, but he's a good enough player. All right, draft recap time. And man, if we did not get some killers. 79 out of Tommy Page, 74 out of Darren Ferguson. Steve Bryant was an iffy pick. Zay Williams, a 75. Well, this is the team headed into year 3, and it looks pretty good. Of course, we have our rookie. He was a right guard, but we moved him over to the left tackle spot. George Pickens, Christian Watson, the rookie Williams that will probably start in the slot. Jackson Dart, Najee Harris. We tried to find a replacement at quarterback. Didn't work for us well. Defensively, we added some pieces in the offseason because we had to deal with some retirement. But our young players are developing good. Ferguson, already playing up to a 78, is a really good sign for us. And let's just get into the year, see how this team's playing. We do have some players to re-sign here at the midseason. Minkah Fitzpatrick being one of them. We're going to keep him around. You know we got to keep Joey Porter Jr. Keep him for the rest of the rebuild. I don't know why it does that. This game's so broken. Let's pay Keanu Benton. We'll work on that. Patrick Queen, what can we do to get you to stay? Will you take a very low risk? He does. And then Beanie Bishop, I want you to stay as well. And he does as well. Now the only person we really need to focus on keeping around, well, Chris Boswell too, but is going to be Keanu Benton, which we have $11 million left for. And we have another DB breakout at the midseason. I wonder who this would be for. Give me Beanie Benton. Hunter Wooler. Sure. I don't know why he'd be playing, but sure. Oh, we're third in the division. That's not a good look. Let's tackle our national focus scouting where we don't really need to leave it on receiver, but we'll probably leave it on receiver. They're good trade bait, if anything. Now, I want to see how the team's playing. Jackson Dart still needs to work on the interceptions a little bit, but his completion percentage is improving based off of last year. So steady improvement matters. Najee on pace for 1,000, only 3 touchdowns, so we're going to need him to pick that up a little bit. Receiving, Christian Watson leading the way. Zay Williams right behind him. George Pickens kind of down here a little ways. Not a lot of sacks. Our rookie left tackle leading the team in sacks, led up with 3, which is actually fairly good. Patrick Queen leading the team in tackles. Keanu Benton in tackles for loss. And Alex Highsmith in sacks with 10.5. And TJ Watt with 8.5. Here at the midseason, it's pretty impressive. And a decent amount of interceptions. Yeah, let's see if we can continue the winning. Find ourselves into the playoffs here in year 3. We'll see you there. Well, this will probably... It'd be a long time for this happens in real life, but Baltimore and Kansas City both going 16-1. As we do make the playoffs as the 6th seed, the 3rd in our division. It was a close race, but the Browns ended up getting ahead of us. So we have to take on the Buffalo Bills, a team we've already beat in the playoffs. Actually, earlier this season, and I just see Najee up there leading the way in, I guess, attempts and yards. Jackson Dart slowly improving. 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions is better than his previous years of 17. Improvements, what matters. Najee, 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns. Katron Allen with 5 of them. Jackson Dart with a touchdown. And Cam Scatabo with 1 as well. No 1,000-yard receiver, although our rookie was 708 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns. It looks like our rookie left tackle kind of led the way in sacks, which is unfortunate. Defensively, Patrick Queen leading the team in tackles, Keanu Benton in TFLs, and Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt with 20 sacks. Highsmith barely beating him out with a half sack more. Jermaine Johnson even with 7. Keanu Benton with 7. Landon Jackson with 4. We had a pile of sacks with this team. And Joey Porter with 7 interceptions. Patrick Queen with 3. There's still a pile of interceptions, not nearly as many as last year. And any touchdowns? No touchdowns, no safety, no... Oh, we do have 2 blocks. All right, year 3, could this be the year that we try to make a Super Bowl push or get back to the Super Bowl as we did in year 1? I do want to see how the team's developing, see if we know any developmental traits. And Page, it was only star dev, and he is hurt currently. Defensively, Ferguson, again, only star dev, but he's playing up to an 83, so you couldn't ask for more. This team is developing wonderfully, and I almost regret putting on the strong draft classes. Made it kind of seem a little too easy because of that year 2 draft class. Let's see if we beat the Bills. And we put a hurting on the Bills, 31-10, and that's the kind of game we're looking for out of Jackson Dart. 236, 3 touchdowns, a 147 rating, 83% completion percentage. Najee with 66 and a touchdown. George Pickens 103 and a touchdown. Freiermuth with a touchdown. Zay Williams with a touchdown. Defensively, it looks like we had a pile of sacks. TJ Watt with 3, Highsmith with 1, Porter and Benton splitting 1, and Beanie Bishop with the lone interception. All right, normally I don't hop in year 3, but against the 16-1 Ravens, I just really want to, personally, I want to play spoiler, or try to. So we're going to see if we can do that. So let's go to the end of the game, see if we need to hop in at any point, as we do score first. Can we keep our foot on the gas? It doesn't look like it. As We really need some juice on offense, so this is where we step in, try to give our offense a little bit of a push to get into the end zone. As Jackson Dart throws a dart to Darnell Washington, getting down to the 1-yard line. Now we're going to try to run the ball in with Najee Harris. I think everybody knows it's coming, but he's going to get in anyway, and that's a touchdown. Well, not looking good for us. They have smoked us. There's not much point in me playing the rest of this, but I'm going to do it for... Oh, that's a pick. That one's on me. I thought he was going to clear out a little bit. All right, well, Jackson Dart didn't play particularly good, but our whole offense didn't. I don't blame him for the one interception. That was kind of on me. It seems Najee ran fairly well, 2 touchdowns. Again, one of them was from me. Receiving... Not a lot of receiving yards. It's like we didn't have the ball much. It's a lot of 3 and outs, it looks like. Darren Ferguson leading the way in tackles. 1 TFL. No sacks. No interceptions. Well, it's about time Madden made their famous Super Bowl of San Francisco and Kansas City. But we're going to go ahead and get into the yearly awards where you know who's going to win the MVP. And Coach of the Year goes to the same team. Offensive Player of the Year. Guess who wins that? Defensive Player of the Year going to TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith at 2. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Zay Williams is at 3. I was about to say, how is he not on the list? Daniel Woodard was the quarterback I was hoping was going to fall. And he did not. Defensive Rookie of the Year, nobody on the list. Best quarterback, not on the list. Best running back, Najee at 4. Best wide receiver, not on the list. Best offensive lineman, not on the list. Best defensive lineman, not on the list. Best linebacker, TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith at 1 and 2. And Patrick Queen all the way down there at 10. Best defensive back going to Joey Porter. Okay, hopefully that gives a dev trait. And best kicker, Chris Boswell is at 10. Now let's see who takes home the most Madden Super Bowl ever. And the winner is the San Francisco 49ers with Brock Purdy winning the Super Bowl MVP. We already went over the award winners. We're going into year 4 of this rebuild. Kansas City is yet to win a Super Bowl. Let's take a look at our lineup and see what dev traits we got. Najee regresses. Defensively, Joey Porter Jr. goes up in dev trait. Everybody else stays the same, so I'm not really upset with that. All we have to do is find a way to get a winning quarterback on this team, and we're going to be a lot different. Well, I don't really know what to do with a lot of these players, and I think we're going to let them all walk. There's just no reason to keep them around. We'll draft a punter. It's not a big deal. Let's see. I mean, we got $24 million. Maybe we can make a splash. All right, the only person we're targeting in the free agency is Tank. I don't know why I did that. It's Tank Bigsby. Let's see if we get him. And we do. He's just a backup running back. Somebody to pair with Najee and see if that kind of helps our offense get the ball moving a little bit better. Well, we're here at the draft, and I'm really stuck. I don't know what to do. I looked at the mock drafts. There's supposed to be a quarterback here. He's not. All we have is really this guy who is a day 3 talent. And even the other quarterbacks, I just don't know about, like Ian Bowden. I mean, terrible letter grades. Elite strength, elite throw power, though. His awareness is not, he's terrible accuracies. I don't really want to run it back with the same quarterback. This guy's at least got good accuracies. We might go with the quarterback first. I don't want to be desperate to have one, though. I mean, I don't really think we go with a middle linebacker here. Oh, and it picked for me. And I got a left outside linebacker. Awesome. Okay, this draft's ruined. All right, we're taking Ian Bowden. He's a one. He was a 1-2 projection. He's a really good athlete, but I don't have a lot of good faith. Yeah, he was terrible. Oh, we have missed at quarterback. What is wrong with us? All right, we're taking Doug Thurman. He's around 1-2 talent. He should be good enough. He's a middle linebacker. Hidden dev looks good. Well, I checked the mock draft like 3 times. Emmett, at least he's a hidden dev. Yeah, I checked the mock draft like 3 times. No quarterback was supposed to be taken. Of course, we got the worst one. Doug Thurman looks pretty good. Dante Roundtree. We got a running back, Greg Dixon, who looks pretty good. I'm going to get these rookies plugged in. We'll see you at the beginning of year 4. This is the beginning of year 4. This is what the team's looking like. Jackson Dart is up to a 79 overall, so hopefully with that bump in overall, he plays a little bit better and he plays good enough to get us through the playoffs. George Pickens, Christian Watson, and even our 3rd and 4th string receivers looking good. Our offensive line looks really, really good. Pat Freiermuth's doing really good. Najee, but we have people behind him that can play as well. Defensively, our D-line looks pretty good. Our linebacker core looks really good. Our defensive backs looks really good. So it's another year of a very good defensive team. And at the midseason, we do have some people to re-sign, like Zach Frazier, who we want to keep around. We'll work on that. Alex Highsmith needs to stay as well. Let's see. That keeps him around. And then, we don't really have enough money to worry about the rest of these people. Najee, we have replacements for as he has regressed drastically. James Daniels, I kind of feel the same way about. We're just going to focus on keeping Zach Frazier. And we're 2-4, so it's not a good year for us. I don't know what's happening. It looks like Jackson Dart somehow has regressed and is back to throwing a pile of interceptions. Najee's running okay. Only 1 rushing touchdown. The receiving looks decent. Well, it's low, but we're not running well. Defensively, Alex Highsmith leading the team in tackles and in TFLs. TJ Watt in sacks. The whole team has regressed drastically somehow. As an 87 overall, we're 2-4, and the Browns are 6-0 and an 83 overall. Hopefully that means we can get us a better quarterback, because that's our only hope currently. So let's get to the end of this year and see how things shake up. And our best team yet at an 87 overall misses the playoffs. The bad part is it doesn't look like a good year for quarterbacks, and Jackson Dart just has not been doing it for us. Najee went down a lot. Receiving wise, George Pickens only 440 receiving yards. We are just not able to move the ball. We're throwing too many interceptions. Alex Highsmith leading the team in tackles and TFLs. Our sacks dropped off tremendously this year too. I don't know what's happening. So did our interceptions. I guess our defense got tired, was on the field too much. And the MVP goes to the rookie the Colts drafted, Alexander Starling. That kills me. Coach of the year going to Nick Sirianni. Josh Downs winning Offensive Player of the Year. We got nobody on the list. Defensive Player of the Year, nobody on the list. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Dixon's at 9. Defensive Rookie of the Year, nobody on the list. Best Quarterback, not on the list. Best Running Back, not on the list. Best Receiver, not on the list. Best Offensive Lineman, Daniels is at 5, and we didn't re-sign him, so that's cool. Best defensive lineman, not on the list. Best linebacker goes to Alex Highsmith with TJ Watt at 2. Best defensive back, not on the list. And best kicker, Chris Boswell's at 6. Now, this is a Super Bowl nobody wants to see, but let's see who wins between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the LA Rams. And the Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence take down the Los Angeles Rams. Jacksonville getting their first Super Bowl. All right, we're here in the free agency, and the only player we're going after is right guard Dominic Pooney. Let's see if we get him. And we do. There were a lot of fun players in there. I wish we had the salary cap to sign, but sadly there weren't. So we're going to have to get to the draft. We should have a fairly good pick this year, and hopefully we can finally get a quarterback. All right, we're in the draft. We have pick 4, so let's go ahead and get to it. Well, I'm not generally a fan of scrambling quarterbacks or necessarily taking this guy this early, but he does look fantastic, and we need a quarterback. It's time to replace Jackson Dart. It may be a little late. I don't care. He's a hidden dev. He looks really good. All right, and we're trading Jackson Dart and a 3rd round pick to the New York Giants for their first this year to try to add a little bit more to this team. A guard here that looks fantastic for our offensive line, Josh Richard. Ranked at 4, got him at 21, and a hidden dev. We're doing something this year. We're going to take a shot at a defensive tackle just cuz. Hidden dev, another good player to sit on the bench. All right, to take a look at the draft that we had, it was spectacular. Terrence Clemens, a 76 overall. He should win us games. Josh Richard is an 82 overall. Niles Choice, a 74. Another right guard, and Emmanuel Holiday, a 72 overall. And a hidden dev. A really good draft for us. It's what we needed. Let's put these pieces in place, and we'll see you at the beginning of year 5. And here we are at the beginning of year 5. The team still looks good. I mean, our running back position could be a little bit better, but the offensive line is fantastic. Our receivers are good with George Pickens, Christian Watson, even Zay Williams and Xavier Restrepo all look good. Defensively, and I didn't know this last year, and I don't know why it keeps benching him for Micah McFadden, but Thurmond, our rookie, was a superstar dev, and Thurmond was a superstar X Factor, and LaPierre was a superstar dev. So I'd like to find ways to get these two guys on the field a little bit more. Let's get to the midseason and see how this team's playing. And at the midseason, we do have a lot of people to re-sign, but we're not going to worry about it. This is our last year. We will be ending it after this, so hopefully we can make our miracle run with our rookies. Let's see if we know any of our dev traits at the midseason. Okay, Clemens and Richard are both superstar dev players. That's huge. Defensively, we don't know choices, but it's because he doesn't see the field. And everybody else is just where they are. Not going to worry about the national focus. Let's take a look at our rookie and how he's playing. As hopefully not as bad as Jackson Dart. 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That's better. Rushing, Bigsby with 353 and 4 touchdowns, not doing great. Neither is Greg Dixon. Clemens with 100 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. Receiving, Christian Watson leading the way. George Pickens not super far behind. We've only given up 3 sacks so far this year. And defensively, Patrick Queen leading the way again. Alex Highsmith in TFLs. And TJ Watt in sacks. We have 3 people with 3 plus sacks. And a couple interceptions. We'd really like to bump these numbers up, but you can only do what you can do. So we're going to keep on trucking along, get to the playoffs, and hope and pray that we make it this year. And we made the wild card round. We actually led our division. We're the number 2 seed at 11-6, just behind Kansas City. Terrence Clemens, that's a strong Rookie of the Year campaign. 3,600 yards, 30 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Tank Bigsby, 746 and 7 touchdowns. Clemens with 4 touchdowns on the ground as well. Receiving, okay, we finally get 2,000-yard receivers out of Pickens and Watson. Pickens with 10 touchdowns, Watson with 7, and Zay Williams with 6. We did end up giving up more sacks. We were on a streak at the midseason to only have given up 3, but we weren't really winning games. Defensively, Patrick Queen leading the way in tackles, Keanu Benton in TFLs, and TJ Watt in sacks with 14, 9.5 for Alex Highsmith, 6.5 for Landon Jackson. Micah McFadden is still finding his way onto the field. Joey Porter leading the way with interceptions with 5, and give me a defensive touchdown. No defensive touchdown, no safety. Richard and Clemens, well, Richard's up to an 87, a true 87 overall. Clemens up to an 86. I guess Zay Williams has really started to develop. The rest of the team's looking really good. Tank Bigsby playing at an 82 currently. Defensively, the team looks good. It didn't bench my starters like I thought it had. Everybody's playing up right now. If we could have gotten this last year, even with Jackson Dart, I feel like we would have made a run in the playoffs. Now we're going to go ahead and hop in. We got to hop in all these games. Let's see if we can get a Super Bowl. I feel really confident in this team. We have the home field advantage here, so that's why we're going to feel a little bit more confident and go and hop to the end of the game. Tennessee is up first. We put 3 on the board. This is where, okay, they're able to score. That's a big penalty, but there's not a lot going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and jump in here on offense because we've got to move the ball and try to get points up. We can't lose to Tennessee. As we're going to hit Freiermuth and get the first down. Clemens is... Why do we get in these playoff games and our quarterbacks just play bad? Okay, as we hit Williams right there. We're going to try to score and just pray for a stop from our defense. That is our whole... That's our whole plan. Pray our defense gets a stop, which only letting up 14 points so far. I feel like we'll be able to get one. This Clemens fella feels really good in this game. As we're just going to continue to move the ball and get the first downs. That's all that matters. Just keep getting the first downs. I haven't even tried to take off with this dude. Oh, as we're going to hit Collins for a gain of 9. Oh, Tennessee's going to challenge it. Oh, and it stands. Let's go. All right, we got to get the ball in here. We got to quit messing around. All right, we're going to get the first down. Come on. We need you here, Tank. We need you here, Tank. And he gets in for the touchdown, making it a 4-point game. It's a 5-point game, actually. I guess we went for 2. And now we're in a not-so-great spot. Down at the 1, I guess they had a great punt. So we're just going to try to give ourselves some space. I really want this, and I want to be able to go to... All right, I want to go to mesh. And we're going to hit Freiermuth open, get the first down. That's how we got to move. It's time for Clemens to lead the comeback, and we want to... Let's see what that safety does, because Pickens beats his... Oh, his deep accuracy is terrible. Okay. That checks out. His deep accuracy, not great. And get the first down as he takes off. We kind of want to take most of this game away. I don't really want Tennessee to touch it, as they're going to get us for a loss of 5 there. I didn't see that guy at all. He just bounced out at the perfect time. All right, this is what we got to do here. Hit Freiermuth. Let the block set up. Get the first down. We're taking our time with this drive, but we're playing good ball. Their run defense is pretty good, so we just got to keep on it. As we get another first down, slowly moving the ball. It's exactly what we want to do. Is just slowly move the ball and and give our defense time, as we're going to hit Williams for a nice little gain of 6. And then Freiermuth for another first down. He has come in huge or clutch this last couple of plays. Now I see something and I know it's early, but I just want to try it. And he just overthrows him. His deep ball accuracy is terrible. If he can improve on that, we might have a really good quarterback on our hands. As Freiermuth hangs on and gets a gain of 8. That was a tough one there. I knew they were bringing the blitz. I didn't know if he'd have the leverage or if that'd be an interception. And we're down to the 2-minute warning. We're going to try to pull out something that I haven't tried yet. Now, I don't know if the team has or how the defense is going to read it, but it looks like it's going to work fairly well for us, as Tank Bigsby's going to get down at the 12. Now, we did this exact same thing with Russell Wilson a couple years ago, where we were able to run this clock down to the very end and punch it in with Najee. The question is if we can do it again. And Tank Bigsby's going to bounce around and fight all the way down to the 1-yard line. And I'm going to let this run a little bit. We're going to get down past the 15-second mark. I don't want to give them an opportunity to Hail Mary it or anything. And Tank Bigsby is going to fight his way into the end zone, giving us a 3-point lead, and we end up winning the game. That's a resilient team. You know what they say, good teams find a way to win, and that's exactly what we did. As Terrence Clemens did not have the best day, did throw 1 interception. Tank Bigsby had an okay day, but 2 rushing touchdowns. Pat Freiermuth leading the way in receiving. Some good blocks. I don't think any sacks let up. But we did have 4 sacks of our own, 2 for TJ Watt, 1 for Landon Jackson, and a half for Beanie Bishop Jr. and Patrick Queen. And then Beanie Bishop with an interception. And in the divisional round, we have our division rival, the Cleveland Browns. Time to see if we can win this game. And we have the home field advantage again. I meant to hit jump to the end, but I didn't. So let's go ahead and get that straight. We have the home field advantage. Let's see if it pays off, as we are on the board first with 3. They come back with 7. We come back with 7. Keep driving, offense. Keep your foot on the gas. 23-7. 26-7. We take home the win, beating the Cleveland Browns in the divisional round of the playoffs. And what a game from Terrence Clemens. 18 for 21, 164, and a touchdown. Tank Bigsby with 2 touchdowns. George Pickens with the receiving touchdown. Troy Fautanu did give up a sack defensively. No TFLs and only 1 sack for Alex Highsmith. 2 interceptions for Joey Porter Jr. though. And this is where it gets hard as we have to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. We just got to do it. There's no other way around it. We got to take down the Chiefs. Let's go to the end of the game as Kansas City scores first, but we answer back. All right, this is where I'm going to jump in here. This is what I want to do. Custom play options. All offense. I want to try to get on the board get a little bit of a lead with not a lot of time left. As we're going to hit Christian Watson into the end zone for a touchdown. Get on the board. And we're going to let the offense continue to play it out until I feel I need to come back in. But right now we have an 18-21 lead. This is where I'm coming in. 2:41 left. It's time for us to salt this. And I mean, I swear, if we had any kind of deep accuracy, I would bomb them. But we can't. So we get a gain of 4 with Tank Bigsby. I'm going to try the jet sweep here with Zay Williams. That name keeps messing me up. I have a feeling I'm going to get stopped behind the line here. Nope, he's going to squeeze through, get the first down and some. And we're going to let this go down to the 2-minute warning. I have a really good offensive line on this team. And they're going to get an injury timeout. I got a really good offensive line. So the fact that we're not able to run the ball is alarming. And we're going to try to hit this drag here to Williams to really give us that. And we do hit it. And we're just going to go down. And they're going to burn their last time out. And that should... What are you doing there, Clemens? That should be able to burn the game out. Or are we going to kick a field goal on them to be toxic as shit? Yes, we are. And that's good. I don't know why the coach would do that. But Mike Tomlin's saying, fuck you, Kansas City. As we have a big win for our rookie, Terrence Clemens. Kind of outplaying Patrick Mahomes. But 225, 2 touchdowns. Rushing, Tank Bigsby with a touchdown. Not a lot of rushing yards today. Zay Williams and Christian Watson with the 2 receiving touchdowns. No sacks allowed. Defensively, we got a sack with TJ Watt. No interceptions. And the MVP does go to Patrick Mahomes. Coach of the Year going to Sean McVay as we make the list again at number 8. Offensive Player of the Year, we're not on the list. Defensive Player of the Year, we are also not on the list. But Terrence Clemens does win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year going to Caleb Sims. We're not on the list. Best Quarterback. Dang, we didn't make that list. Best Running Back. Not on that list. Best Receiver. No, not on many lists this year. Best Offensive Lineman. Zach Frazier is at 7. Best Defensive Lineman. We're not on the list. Best Linebacker goes to TJ Watt with Alex Highsmith at 3 and Patrick Queen at 5. Best defensive back, Joey Porter Jr. at 2. And nobody else on the list. And best kicker, TJ Snyder making it at number 7. All right, before we hop into this, we are going to take a look and see what... In Madden, you get dev trait increases going into the Super Bowl, but you will lose them after potentially. So I want to see if we got anywhere. On offense, we did not. Defensively... Patrick Queen and Alex Highsmith both going up to Superstar Dev, and Joey Porter Jr. going up to Superstar X Factor. This team's firing on all cylinders. All right, we're going into this game against Oh, they have Brian Thomas. That's neat. Against the LA Rams and Fred Warner. This team built, but it's a lot of older veterans, so maybe our younger speed can take advantage of that. All right, we're going to the end of the game. Let's see what happens as LA is on the board first, but we tie it 3-3, 6-3, 6-6, 6-9. We're going to go ahead and try to play offense here as we do get the ball. We got to be careful, though, as this team does have a really good defense. We're going to hit Tank Bigsby out of the backfield and get the first down. Clemens has thrown 2 interceptions today. I was 100% expecting to see this 15-2 team be like an 83 overall and us struggle to beat them, but they're good. They're a good team. We just have to take advantage of where we are right now in the position of us having the ball and breaking tackles with Tank Bigsby and getting the first down. I actually don't know that I want to hold on to the ball too long. Oh, Christian Watson not being able to hit the pass. Terrence Clemens' inaccuracy is really hurting us today. All right, well, there's only one thing to do, and that's get in field. Well, no, that's get the first down with George Pickens. I was going to say, only thing to do is to get back in field goal range and kick the field goal, but if we're able to get back into the drive, we'll take it. I don't like doing all these stretches. They just generally don't work because the player bouncing in this game is fucking insane. But it's going to work this time with Tank Bigsby as he's going to get into the end zone and get a touchdown. All right, this is where we needed to be. How are we on the 3-yard line after they scored a touchdown? And we're just going to scramble, give ourselves some space. Oh, we're going to hit Bigsby over the middle and out of bounds. That was a huge play. I really thought that was going to be picked off because I thought that player was going to keep running with them. Now, we kind of really need to score a touchdown here. I don't want to go into overtime. And they leave Williams wide open, and he's going to find the end zone. He kept running. He quit running with them. And our defense holds up. We won the Super Bowl. I can't believe they left him wide open. Zay Williams, everybody. Let's take a look at these player stats as we know that neither quarterback had a good day. It looks like Terrence Clemens edged them out just a little bit. Probably only because us jumping in. The Rams probably would have won. But I'm okay with that. Tank Bigsby having a decent day with a touchdown. Zay Williams with a huge play for 58 yards and a touchdown. George Pickens came up clutch there at the end. Our center gave up a sack. Defensively, we had a pile of sacks. 6 sacks, 3 for Highsmith, 1 for Jackson, 1 for Watt, and 1 for Keanu Benton. And Darren Ferguson and Minka Fitzpatrick, both safeties with interceptions. And the 2028 season recap. Zay Williams wins your Super Bowl MVP. He deserves it. I mean, that DB just quit running with him on that last play. I was thinking about giving him a chance anyway. But as soon as I looked his way and rolled out, that corner or whatever he was pulled off of him, and he was wide open. And let's take one last look at this team. This is a really good team. I don't know how much longer you could go with it, as a lot of the defense is older. But the offense is very young, and you have players that you can continue to build around. Pat Freiermuth, 90 overall. You don't have a starting offensive lineman under an 85, which is awesome. Tank Bigsby's starting to develop a little bit, but you probably want to try to find another running back. Clemens, a rookie quarterback that just led you to the Super Bowl and didn't have the greatest game, but stepped up when you needed him to and was accurate. I was kind of worried that last ball was going to be inaccurate. Defensively, I mean, you do have some good young pieces, right? Thurmond, LaPierre, who is going to come behind TJ Watt. You kind of need to look at a left end because Jermaine Johnson has started to regress badly. Joey Porter's starting to regress. Paulson Adebo, though, like you still probably have a year or so of those guys. Need to find a replacement for Minka. Just brought in this young safety. So there's a lot of people that need to be replaced, but I mean, to do it through the draft and have a team that's competing with this offense that can be here for a while because pretty much everybody, well, a lot of people need to be paid, but you're still young enough. You could find some people in the free agency. But outside of that, folks, that's going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like. Hell, even if you didn't, leave a like anyway. Let's try to get this video to over 20 likes. I normally don't like to mention it, but I do. As well, a little bit of a shameless plug here. Follow me on X. You know, I post a lot of football stuff, talking games, talking some bets. I post all my YouTube videos on X, so be sure to look there. I'm gonna start working on a Dolphins and Raiders rebuild soon. I know I need to do those. I gotta do another college one, and I got a new college football 25 series coming out later this week. So be sure to check into that. Leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, have a good one.